Greetings, everyone. It's such a pleasure to have you all together with us today for this member-led webinar. We're quite proud to have such a strong community in France, dynamic, gathering together regularly, and to have APCI, who we'll hear from today, but also Dassault Systèmes, Design, EDF, and also new members, including Mutuelle d'Assurance des Instituteurs de France. This year, it's quite exciting to see how the community is getting together. We're proud at WDO to count on a dynamic community which we activate through a series of programs and communications. So please make sure that you inform our community through our web forms of events coming up so that we can update the calendar of events and activities that we have on the following slides. We have quite an exciting program this year. We will have other online webinars like this to activate the community, but also a series of programs and communication that you can follow. Our members have access to the member minutes, but we also have a public newsletter you can also register to. In terms of activities this year, you'll see on the following slides that we have some quite important events coming up. In September will be the World Design Congress. You will see in the following slides that we will meet at the Barbican for 2 days of conferences on September 9 and 10 on the theme of design for the planet. Please make sure that if you're interested in submitting some papers to the Research and Education Forum part of the Congress, you do so by the end of this week. Now, also during the World Design Congress on September 11 will be the General Assembly of WDO members. If you have not joined the community, you can do so and register until mid-August. We also have our election taking place at the General Assembly. So those interested can explore the expectations for board members election, and you can submit your candidacy until June this year. Now, upcoming events also include World Design Industrial Design Day taking place on June 29 on the theme of Let's Get Ethical. A lot of our members from around the world activate their community during this event through workshops, conferences, and gatherings. So we will be sharing all of this together. Now, I want to once again thank our host today, APCI, and I will now send a microphone to our regional advisor and past board member from Dassault Systèmes, Asensio, and to you.
Thank you, Bertrand. Yes, thank you for all of you to join us and being able to actually receive the sharing that we want to give to you today. Specifically, what I would like to do is just to introduce this wonderful proposition that the French community is building for quite a while, and it will be presented by Emmanuel and Isabelle later on. But what I wanted to just start is for the start is just to critically reflect about the state of the world. Currently, I would like to put and emphasize 4 key points on those chaotic moments that we are living in. Typically, there are not such thing as believing in growth and prosperity without to understand that it's on a very intensive, what we used to call VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. But I think it is why it's a great moment for designers to engage. We used to actually, when it comes to those big, huge, serious topics, all the way to geopolitics, it may be going all the way to war and peace, conversation among designers. It's really the time for designer because when it comes to those VUCA VUCA words, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Designers knows how to navigate those words and those worlds. Second, public policies. We have seen this last 5, 6, 10 years a huge emphasis in the way that the designers engage in public policies. It may be subtle and quite okay, sorry, I get messages at the same time I'm talking. Yes, I will answer the question at the end. Public policy. So the question that we basically have to aim to, and specifically in France, is the question of the threat of democracy and the fact that currently the democracy is not just being under threat by geopolitics, but also by the emergence of technologies. Technologies that are now the arm, we'll say the strong arm of other type of policies that may not be so democratic. Those technology, we know it for quite a lot. We are talking about artificial intelligence. It may be an opportunity for design as much as it is a threat. And it's very important to, in this case, engage on a human focus on the workforce. This transformation would occur only if we understand really the human capacities and competencies engaged into artificial intelligence. What do we try to grasp? Finally, in this planetary design, that will be just the topic for the Congress in September, there are two key elements that I would like to reinforce and put them even in a common bilancial or equilibrium, is truth and trust. What we are missing right now, we are talking about designers providing narrative. What we are lacking is this ability to actually navigate in a post-trust world and a post-truth world. And those two are combined. You get trust because you truly believe in what you see and what people say and what they say. The fiduciarian architecture that we need, the belief that have to be cementing all of the population, communities, collective intelligence. This is what designers, new forces that have to be put in place. Typically, I put this next slide without to have the intent to read it entirely, but those megatrends, maybe if we get those megatrends, everybody can see it. They are basically what we can realize are being identified as what the economy sees as the growth. And what is quite interesting when you look at those megatrends is the focus is being clearly on technology, on dematerialization, on accessibility toward, cloud, extended reality, digital assets, everything, even the mobility and health are becoming digitals. So the big question for designers is how do you navigate in a truly dematerialized world? And what are the new practice, tools, method, even way of communication that designers will have to target, to learn, to deploy in the near future? Right now, there are a huge community of designers that are growing very fast to basically being in the same trend that are the UX designers. But we are just one type of, I would say, interactors. And what we are is clearly human or humanity focused. And in that cases, all those technology have to be balanced with the engagement, the full engagement of design. So design research, social innovation, co-design, circular design, biomimicry design, all of those aspects will have to actually be in the balance of creating the condition for navigating into virtual plus real extended reality that are coming. Maybe people may be questioning me about, oh, the metaverse, we talk about it, it's just a new trend, and now we talk artificial intelligence is going to be the next one. These are just like the peak of the iceberg of a huge transformation that everything is getting dematerialized. It's about the circularity of data. It's about digital model, and we designers need to learn how to design those models. Next. So what does this impact the world in France? What was quite interesting is adopting a systemic and holistic approach means a lot. Designers in France have been engaging in this approach quite a long time ago. I remember, you know, the Biennale of Saint-Étienne triggering this aspect of meta design and looking and working on a territory level and demonstrating the value of design in redefining the way we live. We dwell, we move. Lately, at the World Design Capital in Lille, the Maison POC, the collaborative town, the collaborative city, was quite also putting a step forward about understanding the quality of design in defining, you know, through experience thinking, the quality of hypersystemic proposition. But we also can see that with the aim of technology, that those propositions can go beyond just the adoption of the citizen or the users. It can develop means, index, quality metrics that allow basically the politic, the public servant, anyone who are making a critical decision, wherever in an enterprise or on a government level, to actually not just make a decision on the leap of faith, but with the possibility to see the translation of design proposition into a simulation that are scientifically correct. Next. The another aspect is circular design. What we can see that it's a development of approach and system that basically help to sequence what are the tasks of designers. So maybe I go back again to the how design and not the why design, but these are being combined. When it comes to the ambition to put into action circular design, it's very important that we are slowly but surely combining our way of doing it, understanding that we need to have a sequence of tasks and put those tasks in the right order and enable all of that practice of designer, like I call the sustainable practitioner, in motion by basically sharing, aggregating, combining, and building to get the best outcome, and maybe not just multiple way of addressing circular design, but one that is being recognized by everyone. This program was the design with Ellen MacArthur Foundation, but this is something that will be probably discussed at the next Congress in September. Next. So what about France? So French design is basically aiming at covering quite a very large array of discipline of design. I would say that I don't see any of those disciplines, wherever they are very long-lasting, established, of newcomers, emerging practices. The French design is very diverse, with a very large array of capability, competencies, and I would say presence wherever in the cities, in the enterprise, even in huge event. I just would like to mention Mathieu Le Hanner flame of the Olympic Games that have made a good light on the French design lately. Now, what makes France stand out? Few numbers. I could put a lot of numbers, but I just wanted to combine a few information, just coming from different setting and survey. On the left, what you get is an exercise that was made by Levia. It's a WDO member also, a side of APCI, where they basically made a survey around the world about asking to anyone what they think about French design. What is the characteristic of French design? So this is being translated into the left by art de vivre, panache, elegance, audace, cultural openness, heritage, equilibrium, creativity and industry, know-how, and sustainable innovation. On the center, you get the key numbers. The key numbers are coming from different studies and survey. Some of them that was made through a diagnostic that I'm sure Emmanuel will be talking a little bit more further later that we are doing with the French government. He will explain you more in detail, but typically the French design is 16,000 professionals, about 0.25% of the GDP. About 3,000 designers are being graduating every year, and we can say that it's something coming from that diagnostic, 1 designer for 10 engineers in France. So this is just to give you the profile of the design and the French design. And on the right, this is being provided by a report to the BPI, that is the body, the agency in France for supporting innovation. And what we can see is quite a lot of designers at the low end of the ladder, mostly in the prototyping and executing phase of design. So we can see design is still very much instrumental on the lower end of these scales. But what you can see is starting with 21% people putting and crafting process and architecture of redefinition of what may be a business model. Then you have the scientists that are much more working on design research. And finally, they call it visionary. I would say those 5% maybe are the representation of design leaders that are basically acting at the closest level, if not sitting at the COMEX level. Next. So the last thing I wanted to mention is our specificity. France has been very proud to be at the early stage of the creation of the WDO that previously was called EXCEED, with the manifesto of Jacques Viennot in 1953. Viennot was not the one who created the organization, but he was a key member and a key founder. And so he probably has creating a lot of respect and heritage and continuity willingness from the French member. So what we currently do, first we have regularly some French members at the board of WDO. We also are making quarterly meetings where we are sharing our best practices. What is quite interesting, we are always doing those meetings in the sense of crossing the different pillars, academic, corporate, institution. And it's really often a good moment for us to anticipate some action and programmation of design in the national ground, but also in aspect of contribution to more international presence. Last but not least, it's my last slide. I can say that we still have a lot of optimism. It's maybe a typical French trait. We are very critical. We often are very harsh on us, but something that we cannot just take off of the designers and the French designers is their optimism. So with the regional group, we are currently looking at paving the future collaboration, and clearly we love it in the spirit of transnational collaboration. So creative outlook may come from collaboration and sharing. Those logos you see on the bottoms are the current French W members. And with no further ado, I would like now to pass the baton to Emmanuel Thouan, the president of the APCI, that have a great detailed presentation for you about what is French design in the French ground.
But just before that, before giving the floor to Emmanuel, we have a question for you.
Really?
Yes, because even it's only a 1 hour webinar, we would like to have some interaction with you. So please apologize if it don't work, because it's the first time for us to do it. But we have a question for you, and we will, so Rosanne, if you are ready, we will launch a short question with a poll. And so the question is, what comes to mind when you think of a French design? So normally, if it works, you will receive the question, Rosen.
I see a question on my screen right now.
Okay. So just answer with one word, the first word that comes to your mind when you think about French design.
The first word that comes to me is conceptual. Conceptual. And if I have time, I can make a little story about it. It was a panel about a month ago. Mathieu Lehanner was there. They were like different designers from different backgrounds. And a similar question come to the audience. There were people from Italy, people from England, and some people from Japan, and maybe other countries. But the question came across and said, because there were only French designers on the panel, and they say, can you tell us what makes French design French? So it's very close. And it was very interesting because I don't think if there are such a thing as, can you visualize French design? So I think French design is typically more about the attitude of being very conceptual and critical, and approaching the topic in a very intellectual way, where maybe some other design could be recognized by a signature. There are not such thing in French design. That would be my answer.
Okay, thank you. And so we have received some word and answer also on the pool. Cool. I think we will share it at the end of the webinar. If you still don't be shy, please answer the pool, and then we will continue with Emmanuel.
Okay, thank you. Looking forward for the result.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be with you today to speak about not just about design, but how we can set up French design, and France design. I will try to give you a whole image of what we are doing as a WDO member organization. Because, as you know, I am the chairman of APCI since now 2 years. The first part is how can we make and create a strong action plan for design to be able to have a shared vision about what is it exactly. Maybe I will disturb you a bit with my word, but in France, we have to stop speaking about design. Why? Because if you are speaking about design in France today to CEO or top manager, they will understand just a few parts of design practices. That means they will understand luxury design, fashion design. They will understand just about furniture design, but just a part of practice in design today in France, because we know 30% of designers are working on these specific practices. That means fashion, lux, and furnitures. But for the other, they are working on industry, they are working on commercial issue, in marketing, in huge company like Anne. She's in Dassault system. Dassault, it's not in luxury or fashion design. Dassault is a quite huge company working for industry, and as an industrial designer, we are a critical factor in transforming uses, processes, and more generally, innovation. That means design is related to creative process and all its outcome. That's one of the points I have to say, because we are a bit late as a industrial country in how to accept, how to define design. In France, it's a nightmare if you meet a designer and 5 minutes after another one. You will have 2, 3, 4 different definitions of design, and it's very complicated to try to be understood by the people we work with or we work for. Then instead of speaking about design in terms of practices, we will speak about design skills and design skills for practicing design. That means how to relate design to a global action plan in political issue, but also in educative issue, and obviously in economical issue. In the slide in front of you, you have a quick summary of what we are doing right now. That means we are working with the French government and Prime Ministry on the France 2030 program with a big, huge financial program with 44 billion euro. And the first part of this program was a diagnosis to anticipate the transformation in industry and in design practices and skills. And we work on the education program with NC, with the École nationale supérieure de création industrielle, with one of the best school of design in France, working on a program who can anticipate the needs of the French society in terms of design in the future. Furthermore, we work with all the French design partners who are Institut Français du Design, Alliance Française des Designers, Association Design Conseil et Conseil National du Design, to work with all the financiers of French transformation. That means ADEME, Caisse des Dépôts, and BPI France, who are different financier and actor of French transformation today to anticipate the mutation of French economical issue, social issue, obviously, and environmental issue. They need design now because of diagnosis, they know it. And then we are trying to implement a global action plan in the same time as the new education and program system, and also the work of French design lobbyists with the French Design Council, because we are trying to work with Ministry of Industry to be able to implement design of all different in all different issues in terms of industry in France. And obviously, we are working about sovereignty, and we are working to be able to project with designer and this kind of plan a new way of understanding what could do design for the future. We have 6 different approaches in this topic. When I say topic, it's design skill, is the how to be able why can a designer working on a complex organization and in terms of materials in complexity itself. That means how can we define the systemic approach and comprehensive vision of a designer to be able to manage complexity. The second big skills is the ability to represent and model something, to make things visible to all the stakeholders in a complex system. The third one is the user-centered approach based on field observation. And the meaning is how to humanize the project We can focus also on aesthetic and perceived value to enhance attractiveness, obviously. Five is understanding the technical challenge, the feasibility, cost, and impact, very important for industrial point of view and issue. And at least development of mock-up and prototype to be able to test and validate quickly any kind of design way of thinking. To understand this design competency, we organize a consortium, a collegium, under the oversight of a National Design Council, who is in transformation today. We was with I was sorry in National Design Council last 2 years, and in French National Design Council, we have a representative of historic design stakeholders and major national industry, but also a huge and major design school, French design school. It's the only way in France to implement design into political issue is to speak about the economical, environmental, and social impact of design. That means we are trying to develop a new system to identify the strong indicators in the innovation program. And the design is one of the best tool to be able to change the mind of people about just money or financial issue into a new way of thinking and critical, I think the word, sorry, and then to be able to do that with all the other designers in France, we develop and share a big program. You have in front of you the five big part of this program. The first one is a France Design Lab, with a different space, working space, association space, when you can find a kind of territorial hub of design practices. It's very close to territory and political issue, but also very close to the industry and economical actors of territory. And we have yet two different design lab. One is in Rennes, the other one is in Tours. And we have today almost 20 new demand for labelizing kind of APCI certification for design lab. That means how to implement a design with designer in a specific space about a specific topic. For instead, or example, we have a new design lab of regenerative practices in Brittany. We have another one about public policy in Paris, and 20 new and different demand. As you know, in France, we have France Design Week, with a big festival about design in France. Is more than 6,100 people touching during 2 weeks, and it's a way to discover design for everybody. But for us, is a good way to be able to show what is exactly designed in France. That means industrial design or digital design, not just fashion or furniture design. The third one is France Design Mode d'Emploi, with a networking. Specific networking event to in the different region and territory. That means we try to put the student or young designer networking and meeting industry or entrepreneur or different kind of economical actor to be able to put design in economical in the French economy. The France Design Hub is the big resource platform in design about education, but also about scientific model, use case, good practices. And it will be a platform connected if everything is going well to the National Design Gallery with building up in the Saint-Étienne for yet. And the last part of this specific program is a France Design Impact Award, but my role was to present you all this different French design key point. Now I will leave the floor to Isabelle because she will present specifically the French Design Impact Award issue, and then you will discover we work about a new type of indicators to judge good or bad design. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Emmanuel. So if you have some questions for Emmanuel, please put them. Oh, sorry, I haven't forgot this slide. Put the question in the chat, and then you could discuss with him at the end of this webinar for the Q&A session. I will try to explain you more what is the France Design Impact Award. So you have understood that what we want is to show the role of design in order to change our ways of life, how to improve the competitiveness of the companies, how to be more inclusive. So the originality of this award is not to be focused on the excellence of design, on the methodology, on the shape. It's really on the impact. And to show to all the people in France and abroad. It's why we are really happy to share this presentation and this award with you. How to integrate design in your project. It's not the only solution, because you have also understood that it's a collective and collaborative approach. We could, all of us, have a real impact on the society, on the environment, and on the economic aspect. So this award is really focused on these three pillars: environmental impact, economic impact, and social impact. But design, it's a global approach, as you know. And what we try to show is to really measure, evaluate this impact. So it's not easy, but it's what we try to do. And this is the first edition, so we would like also to improve it. And we count on all of you to have your return on this award. It's focused on the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, for sure, because at the end, what we would like to achieve is to have a better life, to move more responsibly, to be more inclusive. So all these 17 goals are really for us the beginning and the sources. And then we have regrouped the project with this different way of life. For the first edition, we are very happy because we launched it in September 2024, and the awards will be in 2025 in September for the France Design Week opening. So it's an annual prize, and we have received 2,200 projects for the first edition. Then we have selected 100 of all these projects that have some impact on the three pillars. And next week, we will announce the 40 nominees. And then in September, for the, as I said, the France Design Week, we will announce the 15 winner. I will go a little bit in the details in order that you understand what is the specialty of this award. So as design is a lot of profession, we didn't have the traditional categories as product design, graphic design, because now we have several professions crossing design. It could be scenography, it could be management, it could be organization. So we really would like to have a global prize and a transversal prize also through all the activities, the sectors. So if you have, it's just don't look really at the numbers, the figures, but to show you, to prove you that today the projects are very diverse and they cross several jobs of design, because under the 100 project, more than 80 are dealing with product design and industrial design, but at the same time, it's also design management, it's also packaging design. And then at the end, we will have 13 awards in order to recognize the impact to help the transition. So we have some award dedicated to the strongest impact on the environmental, on the social, and on economic, and also other special categories linked to the competencies of the designers that Emmanuel presented to you before. So, because design is has the power for mediation, for commitment, for transmission, for optimization, and for reinvention. And then also we will have a prize for the public in order to have the favorite project for the public. Then, so as I said, the questionnaires has been made with experts like ADEME, like INPI, BPI, French experts on all these topics. And the question that we ask and that we measure is what is the impact, how the participant could justify, could explain what is the density of the impact, is it replicable? And with our question, we also gave to the participant a lot of examples in order to help them to answer. For example, it could be because I changed the material, I changed the process, I change the packaging, or I work with the users. So we try really to help the participants to answer these questionnaires. Then at the end, because it's design, and design, it's something that we would like useful to solve the problem, desirable to meet the expectation, inclusive to take into account all the people, all the diversity, resilient because we need to adapt us very quickly, participatory because design, it's a collaborative approach, and also transformative, lead positive changes. And also we would like to show how this project created value for France. But the next edition, we would like to work with also all of you, all our international guests and the partners to see how we could cross these criteria and how we could learn from each other. So, and just also to have a look, to show that we didn't work a lot alone. So we had a lot of experts, as I said, around us, very famous organization. And the grand jury was led by Mathieu Lahaneur. We talked about him before because he's a famous designer in France. We have a lot of famous designers, but thanks to the Paris 2024 Games, he could show all over the world the design creativity through the torch and the chaudron. then I have to stop because I see, so we have other figures to show you that through this award, we are very happy because people coming from all the region in France participated. And then, as I said, we also would like to co-create now this award with our international partners. So the first, the announcement of the 40 nominees will be next week during the Cumulus conferences, and the award ceremony in Paris during the Paris Design Week and France Design Week. And last but not least, because please save this date in your agenda on the 12th of September, because it's just after UGA, when you will be in London on the 11th for the GA WDO. Please join us in Paris, and we will organize for you a dedicated day with a visit of the exhibition in the Paris Design Week, roundtable with the French designers, and the France Design Awards ceremony. So now you could find a link to already register, and we will come back after with the logical and technical aspect. But now I would like to give the floor to Dorothée to manage the Q&A session. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Isabelle, and hello to everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. So as Isabelle mentioned, my name is Dorothée Bolade. I'm WDO's Community Engagement Officer, working closely with WDO's 200 plus members, including APCI and Dassault systems, to deliver engagement activities like this one. So if you are new to WDO, or maybe you've been watching our work, then I encourage you to find out more about the benefits of WDO membership, and I'll be adding a link to the chat. So now let's go straight to our questions. So the first question that has come through is, how is French design supported? So maybe for Emmanuel?
Yes, I will try to be short, but it will be difficult because French design is like France, quite complicated. That means we are we are supported by Ministry of Culture. That's nice, but in fact, it's quite complicated to organize some relationship with industrial part of the government. That means the Ministry of Industry and Economics are far away from culture. And then usually we think about that's nice because we can make a bridge between culture and industry. In fact, it's never happened. That means we have to, with difficulty, trying to convince all the people convinced by design to support design community, but it will be difficult on some part because of the French miscomprehension of design. And when I say French miscomprehension, I speak about government, CEO, top manager, and organization leader. They don't have how can I say the vision of design like a World Design Organization can deploy during the World Design Assembly. In France, they make a very huge wall between design practices. That means if you are a digital designer, it's very difficult to speak with a furniture designer or to speak with industrial designer because the practice are completely separating, and then it's not well organized. For that we decide to work on a France design action plan.
I would like to continue on this proposition. This question about how we are supporting French design. As Emmanuel is saying, it's very fragmented, but this is due to the way design has been instrumentalized by the industry, creative industry, industrial industry, but I would like to say that the French design community with this France design program is really aiming to actually getting and creating means for building a very strong French community. So currently there are a lot of signs of the search for the French community to find a model, to find a way where we can basically being the mediator amongst all of those diverse application of design. And I would say that diversity is actually a rich, it's a blessing. It's like a language, it's like competencies. We need that diversity. So what we have seen often as a difficulty, it may become very soon an asset. We also have a very strong presence in luxury. We have a strong presence in creative industry. We have a strong presence in technology industry. I saw a question in the chat about what the French design does around the question of artificial intelligence. If I want to mention that, we have a very strong artificial intelligence scientist and researcher in France, and we can see more and more designers working with them. So personally, I'm very optimistic. I believe we are really entering a new chapter.
Thank you, Anne. And I think linked to that question, we've had a question from Seda. So is it, do you look for opportunities to work with the large corporate companies to kind of support your work?
I can answer since I work for a large company. But obviously, if I take just the administration, the CA of APCI, Emmanuel, you can mention that. It is quite nice to see the large diversity. There are designers from large company, design leaders, as we call them. But we also have professionals, people coming from different, department or discipline of design. So it's very nice to share our practice. And it's very important to have that diversity. So we really also would like to mention on the diversity that at APCI, we have as many women as men. Okay, that's a very important thing to mention. So maybe you want to complete, Emmanuel or Isabelle.
I could try to answer to the question of Seda. In fact, today, it's a complex and even complicated context if we speak about economical issue, specifically in innovation, marketing, or consulting practices. I think it's all over the world. It's very difficult in Europe. If you see regarding to the numbers of and the result of the company today, it's not so easy to bet on visionary design to transform your states, to transform the company, and to try to look into a positive way of thinking about the world, in fact. And some of the company are completely agreed with, but I think it's because they work also instinctively maybe about a related topic. That means climate change. A lot of people are working about climate convention for a company and scientific convention about new practices. We was talking about AI issue. A lot of companies are completely dimensioning that and work on with designer. But for a lot of people today in France, and especially today, it's like how can I say, they don't think about the next future. They think about today, and they think about money, and they are kind of paralyzed by the context. And today, for some of the small SME or medium-sized company, you can find a lot of CEO working with designer, because they don't know exactly where they go, but they want to continue to spend energy for the company for the future. If you speak about huge size company, it's today. I speak for me and with my experience today. It's completely stopped, almost everywhere.
Isabelle, were you going to add something to that?
No, what I would like to add is linked to the French Design Impact Award. We are very happy because the participants of this first edition are big companies, small companies, SMEs, and also public sectors, and also independent. So just I would like to highlight that maybe it's a particularity of the French design. It's now design is really not enough, but inside all the actors. And what is important and what we try to do is to cross the big company and the public sectors and the designers, etc. So to work and to have a big network, it's also the idea behind the design lab to cross these stakeholders in order to work together to change as we could our way of life and the world.
Fantastic. Thank you, Isabelle. We had a question. Are there other French design prizes?
Yes, and we are so sorry. I will answer to this question, to that question. Yes, we have the Janus. Janus is one of the French prize, and you have also the French Design 100 with another French prize. The first one is from Institut Français du Design, with historically the first company promoting design in France, led by Anne-Marie Sargueil. And in the second one, it's powered by VIA, in France, and it's Jean-Paul Bass, the director of the VIA, and it's a French prize, but typically focus on furniture, so luxury and fashion. That means for wall design issue, today, we have just one prize with the France Design Impact Award.
And I would like to mention when we basically were thinking about, this is not really a new prize, it's a conversion of a previous prize that was supported by APCI for a long time called Observer du Design, that was created by Anne-Marie Sargueil. Anne-Marie Boutin, sorry, Anne-Marie Sargueil is a Janus, sorry for the name. But this prize has been also in some ways triggered with the creation at the time at the WDO with the World Industrial Design Prize, you know, the WDO Impact Prize, that set up a very high ambition in the way, you know, we were basically trying to highlight the design purposeful proposition and solution and outcomes that have been clearly defined. That means that have an impact that we can basically visualize and measure. And that was the reason this France Design Impact Prize has a lot of value, because it really sets another level and ambition in the way we want to see the design in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anne. This question, I think, is for APCI. So how do you plan to improve the awards for the next cycle?
Maybe I could start. It's with the feedback of all the participants, of the jury, and also with you, how we could, because we are in a design process. So we know that this first edition is like a prototype. We are very proud, and thank you to all of the people who work with us. But now, if you have any comment, if you would like to continue the conversation, we will be happy to continue this discussion after this webinar. And then, as I have the micro, I just would like, in order also to close this webinar, to show you what is for you behind the French design. So the result of the poll that you have answered, it's here. You could see, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So diverse, design, romantic, intellectual, elegance, fashion, and some strong name of designers, Talon, Stark, Lemaire, Verilhac. Voilà, this is the representation for you, for this audience today, of what is French design. And
Also,
then,
this is the result of the poll, right?
yes, this is the result of the poll.
Interesting. Interesting.
That means we have to work a lot.
It is exactly what I was saying, Emmanuel. I think today we're very proud to be able actually to address French design initiatives to the World Design Organization and its member, and even furthermore and beyond, because it's really a restart. We have so much to do, but with optimism, we believe that with the transnational collaboration, with also the diversity of the idea inside that has been provided to this exercise, I think we are on a good way. We are paving the road for the future. So collaboration and insight and diversity. We have some work to do.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think that concludes our Q&A session. I don't think we have any others. So I will hand back over to you, Anne. Thank you.
Yes, and I put in the chat the link in order that you could do a first registration to join us in Paris for the France Design Week and France Design Impact Award ceremony. And you will have also the link in the presentation that we share, that we present to you today.
And it would be very important that we share in every country that we have this French Design Award, because again, it is not just for the French, it's for everyone, everywhere in the world.
Thank you for listening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And please stay in touch.
Thank you. Keep in touch. Bye-bye.